How about you all sit there quietly while I make dad noises?
Dad noises. Dad noises.
Ran over there and go to the John.
Welcome to Dad Noises, the podcast for dads, by a dad, without a dad. I'm your host, JP. What is going on, everybody? We are back for the second installment of the show. And so, again, we have an issue. We were supposed to have help here this time, Dylan, but it's okay. Something happened, something came up, so it's just going to be you and me again. So let's go ahead and do this today. So what's going on, everybody? How has everybody been? How's your weeks been? Thanks if you listened to the first episode. I appreciate it. Thanks for everybody that was sharing the episode and stuff like that. A little goes a long way, so it helps a lot, and I appreciate it. And yeah, hopefully this week is a little better. I don't know. I wasn't too pleased or too excited with the first show, but it's tough sitting here trying to talk to yourself and having no reactions or no nothing. I almost bought a blow-up doll or something to put in the producer's chair, and this time I'm going to do some drinking. So maybe this twisted tea will help me get a little twisted. You know what I'm saying? Or maybe that's the problem. I was too twisted up last time and not unwound enough, I guess you would say. Drink break. But I hope everybody had a good week. Yeah, since now and then, we have had Thanksgiving. Let's see, today. Come on, man. I'm trying to look at the calendar. So today is the 30th. Recording this on the 30th, so that means last Thursday. So, just about 6 days back was Thanksgiving. How was your Thanksgiving? Was it good? Do you feel pleased with yourself for not overdoing it, or did you overdo it? You feel like shit? It happens. It happens to the best of us. I literally got sick, like not sick because I ate too much, because I ate a plate and I instantly felt like I was going to puke. I had it was so bad. It was just a really bad queasy feeling, nauseous. It wasn't like, oh, I'm so full, I can't eat anymore type of sick. I was like infected with something. Like I have Omicron of the bunghole, and man, something was about to happen. So, but what I found out what probably happened was I was drinking some of these suckers, these little twisted teas, and then I think I drank them too fast, and then I started eating, and I guess it's like not a good mix. I don't know. I'm not sure. But yeah, so it was good besides that, I literally thought I was going to throw up, and that would have sucked because I only had one plate. So if I would have thrown up, then that means I would have thrown up the turkey and everything I already ate. And then the problem with that is I wouldn't want to touch turkey again or any of the food again. If you throw up food, you don't want to eat it. So that would have been terrible. That would have ruined my Thanksgiving. Luckily, I held it in like a fucking champ, like a fucking porn star. Like, when your porn stars going hard on a dick and just gagging. She doesn't throw up. That's what I did Thanksgiving. So keep that in mind whenever you're eating turkey leftovers, listening to this, that I held it in. So we did it. But yeah, it was fun. I had a little cool sentimental moment. So interesting segue to go from such an explicit description of something to then going to a very sentimental, nice thing, I would like to say. So interesting. Anyways, but we're going to do it. So it was right before everybody came over for Thanksgiving, and it was just me and the fam, me and the wife and the daughter, and we were just hanging out. We're like, what should we do? Well, dude, I love playing Rock Band. There's just something fun about it. Just fucking playing the drum, singing. I'll fucking sing, dude. I don't give a fuck. I let my voice be heard, you know, and I love playing the drums. It's just fun. So I was like, let's play a rock band. And usually the wife, she's not too interested in wanting to play it. So to my surprise, she said yes. And the kiddo, she played too. So we did the first song. I think it was the first song we did. We did Bohemian Rhapsody. And Emery sang. Summer, my wife, she played she played the drums, and I played bass. Because I'm terrible at guitar. I have to play on easy. I can't even play medium. I'm pretty bad at the guitar. Yeah, we just all played. We all played on easy, so our band name was Easy Mode. And it was a magical moment. It was just one of those moments where it's like, if I died and I was able to pick moments I could relive, like my heaven was just moments being relived, I would add that one to the list. I have a handful of these moments that I think about like that, and that's one of them. So I don't know what it was. It was like we were just having fun together, and to see like them both let loose. Because even sometimes Emery, she doesn't want to play, so it's usually like she's doing it because I want to. So it was fun though. But like just seeing them like let loose and play, and Emery did good singing Bohemian Rhapsody. I was, wow, this kid can poop outside and sing amazingly, I guess, because she killed it, like over 90%. Hashtag Easy Mode Gang. That was our band name. So, but man, it was just like one of those moments, and I was thinking like, I'm literally about to cry because of a video game, Rock Band. Like, but I guess it's because as a younger person, as a junior high school kid, we loved Rock Band, man. We played that game all the time when it came out. So I guess it kind of just like nostalgic. So to be able to play that game with my kid and then my wife at the same time, and just having fun and like just really like not caring about anything. Like we got caught up on the cooking and the cleaning, and there was nothing else to do. We were just waiting for family to start coming over, and we just decided to all play. So man, it was awesome. Those are the moments right there that this show's about, baby. Dad noises. Shout out Dad noises. You know, this show it has been a lot of fun. It's been nice getting back into doing stuff. I wasn't doing anything with myself, and it eats away at you. If you listen to the first episode, we talked to. Oh, real quick before I go into that, I want to touch on the Rock Band thing. Also, I had to teach my wife, Summer. I had to teach her that when you play the guitar, you're supposed to strum and hit the button at the same time. And she thought you just hit the buttons. So when we switched afterwards, it wasn't such a miraculous moment or such a beautiful moment to me, because she was playing guitar and she got 6%. Because she thought that you strum only whenever you hit the long notes where you have to hold the button. So she only got 6% of the song. So the song sounded like shit. She completely ruined the moment. What a dumbass. She ruined it. I mean, I was literally like, let's do another song and I'm going to live in this moment again. We just fucked up Bohemian Rhapsody. We did such a good job. Let's do it again. Switch instruments, and she ruined it. So, yep. That's what it's like having a wife, I guess. You know, like great moment, and then boom, stolen from the woman. No, I'm just joking. I love my wife. We like to mess around with each other a lot. We always talk about how if we had a podcast together, that people would be surprised, like our people around us might be surprised, like how we talk to each other. Possibly, I don't know, but it would be interesting to see, but we won't be able to do that, unfortunately. But yeah, so anyways, if you listen to the last episode with Keith and I, we were talking about how, like, getting out of slumps or whatever. So I wanted to kind of touch on that. Drink break. So we were talking about it, and this podcast has been so nice. It's not what I expected it to be. Unfortunately, there was a lot of things that changed, but it is better than I thought. It's more fun. It honestly just feels good producing something and putting it out, even if it is just me rambling. And I honestly hate like listening to this later and editing it. It drives me nuts. I think it's so cringy. It's so insane. It's literally insane. I'm literally insane. I'm talking as though I'm alone, talking as though people want to hear me talk alone. And I'm like nobody. I'm not anybody to anything. Like, it's just strange. And then I just still decide to do it. So I don't know. Maybe I just like the fun of putting together a show, and maybe I like to talk a lot, and this is my way to do it. I don't know what the deal is, but I think it's really insane. But it's fun, and I'm enjoying it, and I'm trying to keep it that way, because I have a bad habit of adding pressure to stuff that don't need pressure, or like I don't really like most of the stuff that I put out or that I do, and I have a bad problem judging myself based off of like other people that are like in the realm of stuff that I do, as like the paranormal stuff, paranormal documentaries, and then this type of stuff, podcast and things like that, filming stuff. I'm always comparing myself, which I think it's healthy to an extent, but I probably do it in an unhealthy way. So this is, and you know, I did therapy not too long ago. This was like literally my therapy sessions, because I was going to a therapist for whatchamacallit. It was at like she wasn't a therapist yet. She was still a student. So they were given like reduced rates and stuff. So I decided to go do it. And she was like very inexperienced, and I was just talking like this. So it's pretty crazy. I just can do this. It's weird, but it's fun. So I'm going to keep on going. But thanks for listening again. If you're still here, I don't know. And then I get like nervous, because I'm like, I'm going to put a second episode out, and it's kind of pointless, because people listen to the first one and they're going to be like, I don't want to listen to any more. And then they're never going to come back. So we'll see. I'm doing it. I'm adding pressure. I'm supposed to just put this out, and just whatever happens, happens. That was how I was hoping to do this thing. Like, I'm going to put in the effort to try to, get people to get eyes on it and ears on it. I'm going to try my best, but if it happens, it doesn't. If not, whatever, it's fun. I like doing this stuff. So let's try to keep it that way. And, yeah, that's just the way it is. So let's go ahead and do another drink break. Okay. So that was Thanksgiving. Another cool thing I think that happened over the last time we spoke, the last time I talked to you. I don't know if a lot of women know this, but men's ball sacks are kind of like, it's like a different skin. It's like elbow skin. And that was the best way that I could explain it, because if you think about it like this, and any dudes out there listening, they know exactly what I'm talking about, okay? And what I'm talking about is there's a reason why we have to, as men, there's just some itches on our ball sacks that we can't itch unless we pinch the testicle skin and do like a little roll, like a little finger roll of, like, if you pick your nose and you get a nice clobber and then you fucking roll it up and flick it, that little rolling motion is how men have to itch their nutsack sometimes. Like a normal itch with a nail doesn't work. And that's because the skin is different. So like we were laying in bed, and we're just like kind of laying on our side, and we're talking and stuff, and we're kind of touching, and I don't know how it came up, but like she was like touching my balls, and I had an itch or something, and I was like twisting it, and then I told her like, you know why we have to twist our nose, and then I went into the spiel, and to my surprise, she had no clue that ball sacks felt like like the elbow skin. Like, and what I mean by that, women, if you're listening, you take the elbow skin, give it a nice little pinch. You don't really feel it. There's no like, it doesn't hurt like a normal pinch. Like if you pinch another part of your arm, you can feel it and it hurts. But like if you pinch the elbow skin, it just doesn't do anything. Your weenus right there. And she didn't know that. So I let her pinch my nutsack as hard as she could. And she was fucking wrenching, like trying to like pierce my nutsack with her fingernails almost. Not well, she wasn't using her fingernails, but like her skin, like her fingertips. She was going, and she was so amazed. Like her face was as though she just saw like the Holy Grail. Like she was in the Amazon rainforest for months at a time, hiking this perilous journey where she had to go through the rainforest and climb through freaking piranha infested waters, and she saw a jaguar and I mean all kinds of shit. And then finally at the very end, she sees this monument, this monolith of this giant old tribesmen, and she walks up to it, and there's this door she goes into, like this old, rock, this huge boulder that she has to push over to the side. She goes in, she walks in, and she's sitting there shining golden heavenly light, and you hear angelic sounds playing in the background. And she feasts her eyes on the Holy Grail. But instead, this was her realizing that she could pinch my testicle skin as hard as she wanted to, and I can't feel it. So that was pretty interesting. So if you're a lady out there and you're listening, ask your dudes, hey, let me pinch your nutsack. See if you can feel it. Because maybe it's just me. Maybe I have like an atomic nutsack or something. I'm not sure. But for some reason, I think it's every dude. I've never tried to pinch another dude's nutsack that way. I should probably ask my friends and see if any of them can do that too. Because I'm pretty sure it's just like a known thing in the men community. Like every dude just kind of knows like your nutsack is like a different skin. So you have to pinch it or whatever like that. But I mean, you can pinch it as hard as you want. But you have to do that rolling motion. So if you take your elbow and you give it a little pinch and then you roll it, you can feel it better. And that's my nutsack. So next time you're touching your elbows out there, ladies, or give it a nice little flick, just imagine that's my nutsack right there. People basically have nutsacks on their elbows. It's insane. So, like, I think that was one of God's little funny secrets or tricks where he's like, I'm going to put the same skin that I make on the dude's nuts. Or what if he was like going through the line of people and he just had like, because of the shape, like he's printing out the nutsack skin. He's like, well, this skin's got to be different because, it's going to be covering the testicles. The testicles are very important for life. And we need the balls to be secure and safe. So we're going to take this skin here that doesn't feel much of anything, and we're going to use this skin. And all the workers and the angels were like, okay, let's do it. And then, he has to cut like a heart shape out of this square. They since they're making it on an assembly line, they have to use the skin in like squares. So they have to cut this heart shape out, and the heart shape skin, nutsack skin, is what's used for the sack when he puts it on us. But then he has this excess skin left over, just kind of around where the heart shape that you have to cut out for the nutsack shape. And he's like, some angel's like, sir, what do we do with this excess skin? I know, you're an environmentalist. You don't want to, overuse things. You don't want to just waste stuff. You want to use things. So what should we do with this, God? And God's like, cover up the joint in the middle of their arm with it. Boom. Boom. You see that joint right there? This one? Nutsack skin. Boom on there. That's literally what I think happened. But yeah, so that was pretty fun. It's pretty interesting to know that she did not know that. And it's crazy. I mean, we've been together for, it's 2022, for 12 years. And I have never told her that my nutsack is basically indestructible. My nutsack is basically that steel that Captain America's shield is made out of. And what is it called? I can't think of the word. If I had somebody to ask, it would be cool, but I can't. But yeah, that was the nutsack skin. That's my skin. Drink break. Okay. Real quick, realize I have the same hairline as Pennywise. If I pull my hair back like this and I look to the side, I mean, literally, if you look at a picture of the new Pennywise, that we share the exact same hairline. I don't want to get too much into it, honestly, because it breaks my heart that my hairline is so terrible. Like my profile, one time I made Summer laugh really hard because I was standing in the in the restroom, in our restroom, and we have mirrors everywhere. We have mirrors on the walls, the medicine cabinet, and then we have mirrors on the door. And then she has this this jewelry box that's this tall standing jewelry box that's a mirror on the door too. So you're like in this middle of this psychomantium. That I think that's what it's called. That's where you sit in mirrors and you talk to the dead. Like you're literally in this area, so you can see like angles of your body and your face and shapes and stuff you never really see. And I was looking at my profile, dude. I mean, I legitimately look like Beavis, like the same shape. Like, well, first off, my head is flat as fuck. I think just from the jump, it was just no luck on my side. My mom, they must have kept me laying down on the bed as a baby like 24/7 because my head is so flat. I mean, it's insane. It's like Tom Brady deflate gate on the back right here, sitting here. When I lay on my back, my head doesn't touch unless I almost like look up, and then like the top of my head right here can touch. It's crazy. So I have that going on. This cool Pennywise hairline. So that's fun. And then I got a pretty pointy nose on the side on the profile. Head on, it doesn't look too bad. From the side, it's pretty bad. So I kind of look like Dracula on the side. And yeah, that's just the way it is. And I made her laugh because I was looking at myself. I was like, damn, I literally got the worst profile in the game, bro. That's what I told her. And that's how I feel. It's true. Worst profile in the game. I don't know what to do with myself. Do I get plastic surgery? Because then I'm going to start looking like Joan River, and I'm not sure if that's any better. But honestly, I don't know if it's any worse. You know, like, do most people look at themselves and just think like, Jesus Christ? You know, I had a big moment like that when I lost weight. I just got out of the shower and I was still fat. And I looked in the mirror and I was like, man, like I already don't have a lot going for me in the looks department. And then on top of it, I'm putting like this pressure, this weight, literally weight on top of it. I got to do something. And that was the moment I had with myself. And sometimes it happens that way. I don't know if I just got lucky, but now like 80 pounds down, baby boy. And then I realized, oh, I'm ugly still. It just looked like I was ugly wearing a fat suit. So now I'm just not wearing the fat suit, but I'm still ugly. So it works out. So basically what I'm saying is don't lose weight if you want to be pretty because it doesn't help. You're just either born ugly or not, to be honest. That's through my experience. That's what I could tell you. So the other day was pretty weird because we had a outage here in Houston. One of the water plants, the power went out at the water plant, and we were under a water boiling advisory, which basically just means don't drink the water. Try not to get the water inside of your body because it's bacteria and stuff. And it sucks because we kind of got like punked because the way everything was worded and stuff, we just figured and thought that we fell in that category, in the area, the affected area, and we found out the day after that wasn't the case. So like we didn't do our normal routines when it came to like bathing and like brushing our teeth. I mean, we brushed our teeth, but we had to go through the process of like boiling water and using that water and stuff like that. And then we found out the next day that we didn't have to. So that was cool, I guess. We just basically did it for no reason. We were just like right there. Like we were almost on the edge of like where people were affected. So we got very lucky. But and I'm pretty sure there was a couple, there's a few times where I accidentally used the water when I wasn't supposed to, or at least when I thought I wasn't supposed to. So I got lucky because I don't know how bad it is. Like, I don't know, like if you don't boil the water and you drink some, like, I wonder how sick you get. Like, that's a good experiment or a good thing to try. So next time y'all have like a boiling water advisory, try that out and let me know, because it'd be interesting to see how bad the city water is. Now, if you die, you can't tell us. So that's going to be a problem. So make sure you tell us on your deathbed, it was the Flint, Michigan water that killed you. But yeah, so we had to do that basically for nothing, we found out. So I'm trying to think, was there anything else that I just wanted to catch you up on before we hop into the stories here? I had a pretty interesting question, but I think I will save it. Yeah, let's go ahead and get into... Well, I thought this story was kind of funny real quick. So this story actually comes from 1978. And the story is about this... Let me find it. Let me read it to you, because I found it quite interesting. So it's a picture of a woman, and she's like being taken into custody by the police. And you see her, and it's obviously like old, and they have like older hairstyle, 70s hairstyle and stuff, black and white. It says, former beauty pageant participant is arrested after abducting a 21-year-old American Mormon missionary, chaining him to a bed and raping him. A young Mormon missionary, Kirk Anderson, went missing on 14th of September 1977 in Ewell, Surrey. He was allegedly abducted from the steps of a church by Keith May, 24, who had posed as an investigator into Mormonism, using a fake handgun and chloroform. 3 days later, a freed Anderson made a report to the police that he had been abducted, driven to Devon, and imprisoned against his will, chained to a bed in a cottage where Joyce Brennan McKinney had attempted to seduce and then raped him. McKinney and May jumped bail and absconded from the UK on April 12th, 1978. Their trial for a kidnap had been due to begin on 2nd May. A judge at London Central Criminal Court in June 1978 sentenced McKinney and May in absentia to a year in prison for skipping bail. No extradition proceedings were instituted by Britain. So, it's very interesting that can you call it kidnapping if a former Miss Britain or former Miss whatever abducted you and tried to seduce you? Because that just sounds fucking awesome. I mean, what is this dude complaining about? The sad thing is the Mormon church brainwashed this guy so much that he didn't think it was cool that a beauty pageant woman that's his age, it's not like some lady that used to be. I mean, she's 24. It's still ripe. It's still good down there. Everything's going good. It's fresh. It's clean. You know what I'm saying? And then this guy is so brainwashed by Mormonism that he has to fight this woman from having sex with him. And then he goes to the cops afterwards and tells the story as though it's a bad thing. A beauty pageant winner was trying to suck you off, and you're going to the cops about it? Sir, I don't know what they teach in Mormonism about this, but you're gay, dude. You're homosexual. So figure it out. It's between you and God or whoever they talk to. No offense to Mormons out there. I'm sure there's tons of Mormons listening to this show, so I don't want to offend them. Not really, but I mean, come on. That sounds like a porn scene in real life. That's literally like you got freaking kidnapped and got put on the bang bus, and then you're running to the cops saying they kidnapped me. They were trying to she was trying to eat my ass. And I've never had that done before. Like, what is that? You know, you freaking be a man, put your legs up in there, lay on the back. And if she wants to eat that ass, you let her. That's just the rules to the game. You got to take it when you can, that bum licking, because it only happens every once in a while. So take it. Drink break. This is like the first time I've ever gotten the peach ones, and man, they're so freaking good. You can't even tell. It just tastes like normal tea. It's insane. It's insanity. So yeah, let's go ahead and get into the news here. This was a pretty interesting story. I didn't read too much into it because I probably should, but San Francisco police seek permission for its robots to use deadly force. Really? This is a good idea. San Francisco has so many problems, I hear. I hear that like you can't even walk down the street without stepping on needles and seeing human shit. Like, it looks like my backyard out there in San Francisco. And if you listen to the first episode, you get that reference. And your best plan of attack or idea for this is like, let's make robots be in charge of making rash decisions, and they also have the ability to twist your head off. You know, like, it's insane. San Francisco Police Department is currently petitioning the city's board supervisor for permission to deploy robots to kill suspects that law enforcement deems a sufficient threat and the risk of loss of life to members of the public or officers is imminent and outweighs any other force option available to San Francisco Police Department. So let's break that down. So risk of loss of life to members of the public or officers is imminent and outweighs any other force options available to San Francisco Police Department. So basically what they're trying to say is it's the last Hail Mary attempt to try to get this situation handled. This robot goes in there and kills you. But who gets to say how much of a risk of the life of members or public or officers is imminent? Like, how do they gauge that? What is the criteria of being like, yeah, this guy is such a risk that we don't want to try to apprehend him, so let's just send a robot to kill him? What if that's not the case? What if somebody just hates the person and just says that and it's not true, and they don't apprehend him properly because they're just going to murder him? And then this just completely like throws out so many like rights. So this is interesting. Let's keep reading to make sure that we get the full story here. The draft policy, which was written by SFPD itself, also seeks to exclude hundreds of assault rifles from its inventory of military-style weapons and for not include personal costs in the price of its weapons. This is just interesting. So the police force currently maintains a dozen fully functional remote-controlled robots, which are typically used for area inspections and bomb disposal. However, as the Dallas PD showed in 2016, they make excellent bomb delivery platforms as well. Bomb disposal units are often equipped with blank shotgun shells used to forcibly disrupt an explosives device internal workings, though there is nothing stopping police from using live rounds if they need it, as Oakland police recently acknowledged to the city's Civilian Oversight Board. So they're basically like, well, we already have the ability to do this. Why don't we just take advantage? So that's the types of things going on in this world. It's just starting to feel more and more like a Black Mirror episode. Just always getting closer and closer. I mean, there's that robot, that one robot episode where they have the robot that has like, it's like almost dog-like and it chases people and it has a gun on top of its head or whatever. That robot is real. I mean, they have that at Boston Dynamics. I mean, you can see videos on it online where they're like trying to kick the robot down, and it doesn't fall down. It just like rolls over and comes back up and stuff like that. So this stuff is scary, and it's not a lane that we should go down as a society. We need to try to keep the idea of humanism alive, I think. So obviously technology is good, and there's lots of aspects that I appreciate as such. Camera, microphone, computer, cell phone, obviously lights, electricity, everything. But there should be a line drawn in the sand maybe when it comes to like VR, AR, virtual reality, augmented reality, things like that, AI or brain chips, Neuralinks. There needs to be a line drawn in the sand, I think. I don't know. I plan on refusing some of that stuff. I think that some of it's cool, but I don't like. They already have like little robots you can buy on Amazon that go inside your house and they clean up your house for you and do little chores for you. Now, if they equip like a fleshlight to these robots or something, and it can like come service you whenever you please, like it's like this little robot that comes with this fleshlight, and then on the screen you can just like select what you want to watch as it's like just going up and down, and then you just have like a little dial on the screen, and you can just on his where his face usually is now Pornhub, and you're just changing it and it just yeah. That might be a good selling point for me, but until then, I'm not going to put that in my house. I don't know. There's just something sketchy. It just feels like it's so like the steps away from getting worse. So I know we didn't read the full story because I'm not going to bother you with the full story. I read over it, but this was like a few days back, so I don't like remember much of it. But from what I read to you, it doesn't sound good. So I guess we'll see. We'll see how that goes. This was something that I found just kind of funny, and I don't know if it's supposed to be funny. I don't think so. But now for a limited time, you can do a Auschwitz virtual reality. Woohoo! Like they're going to take you to Auschwitz. Like you're gonna put on. It's crazy. You're gonna put on a pair of goggles, and you're gonna choose to go to Auschwitz. I mean, if I had VR goggles, that's the last place I'm choosing to go. Why would I want to go to Auschwitz? It says that it brings one of history's darkest moments brought to life. Well, that's the reason why we're glad that it's done, because we don't want it brought back to life. I mean, what's going on right now, there's some people out there that think that people are trying to bring back this stuff because all of the or quote unquote, whatever you want to say it is, Semitism related speech is currently occurring in the news cycle. And why though? Don't do that. Just go get a cool virtual tour of Auschwitz so you can see history's darkest moments. I mean, that's the way that it's brought to life. I thought we ended it for a reason. We could have just kept it going, is what you're telling me? We could have kept the Jews there. We didn't have to end it. We're trying to bring it back to life. It doesn't make any sense. I don't want Auschwitz brought back to life. That was the problem to begin with, is that it was alive and well. What people are saying about the tour, very powerful. It will take days to fully absorb what I heard and saw. It was especially meaningful to me since my grandmother survived Auschwitz, Birkenau. I hope to travel to the actual site one day. Thank you for providing this program. See, like in that case, that makes sense. Like if you have family that was in there, I guess. But like, do you go back and see it at the time that people were in it? Like, is it taking footage from like old footage? There's a video here. Let's take a look at it. I don't know. Off a first glance, it was very comical for some reason.
My dear friends, we have to teach about Auschwitz, but we have to build a universal message from Auschwitz and the Holocaust.
Auschwitz virtual tour, Zoom live session.
My name is Jerzy Wójcik. I've created the Auschwitz virtual tour, which is a faithful recreation of the physical visit in Auschwitz. The Auschwitz virtual tour is not a short seminar. It lasts 2.5 hours, plus Q&A that sometimes takes another hour. But we have to understand.
Okay, so they don't take you back in time. I mean, that would have been insane. I guess I should have looked more into it. I'm a headline kind of guy, so maybe for the show, that's a bad problem. I still think this is just, I guess it's cooler now that it's not taking you back to like when it was historically occurring. Like you're like walking around and you're seeing like Jews dying on the side of the street and stuff. Like, that's good to know that's not what they're doing. I genuinely thought that's what it was, because that's the way the world is nowadays. This shit's just so fucking crazy. It's like people are like lining up to take an experience Auschwitz. Next thing you know, they're gonna hire the dude that does that Halloween house, where he can touch you and like torture you basically, but it's like the Auschwitz version, and this guy's like torturing you, and he's like, because I don't know if anybody's seen that documentary on Netflix where it's like a haunted documentary where they take you into like haunted houses and stuff, and the guy, he's insane. He's like just crazy. He makes people sign up and sign waivers and all this crazy stuff. They have to go through like mental health checks and stuff just to do this haunted house where he basically tries to drown you and like makes you throw up and puts his fingers down your throat and stuff. If you've seen the viral videos online, I'm sure, of this haunted house. Like, what if that guy was like the one running this Auschwitz VR experience? Oh my gosh. I mean, that would be insane. That's funny. Yeah, he just makes you line up and like you have to actually change into like the pajamas, and like you actually get like a real tattoo of like numbers on you, and you're like, Zah! I mean, it's like real life Auschwitz. So I could see that being like this guy's thing. Like, that guy was crazy. So I could see him taking advantage of this. So, or if you're into stuff like that, there's a lane for you. Do Auschwitz, the real life experience. That's next, I'm sure. I'm sure that's next. I'm sure that's going to happen somewhere. Another story that happened recently, I don't think we touched on last episode, but I don't know if it was out yet or not. I can't remember when I recorded, but the Green Power Ranger, who was what I remember him as the White Ranger, was killed himself, unfortunately. He hung himself. He hung himself in a hotel. Jason David Frank, 49, died by suicide over the weekend, and now there are new details surrounding the Power Rangers star's death. Law enforcement sources tell TMZ that Frank was at a Texas hotel with his estranged wife Tammy when he died. The exes had separate rooms, but reportedly got into an argument in Tammy's room. The hotel staff was called, and the situation was de-escalated. The sources added that later that evening or in the early morning hours, Jason and Tammy got into another argument, and Jason locked Tammy out of his room. Tammy became concerned and called the authorities at 5 a.m. Saturday. When officers were unable to reach Frank, the hotel allowed them to enter his room. That's when they found that Jason had hanged himself in the bathroom. The star is survived by his 4 children. So, I guess he's just battling, man. It sucks. Hopefully his family's okay. And I don't know if I didn't see much more about it. When I heard about it, this one was a bummer because I was a huge Power Ranger fan growing up as a kid. And Tommy, when he was the White Ranger, that shit was fucking dope, dude. I mean, I'd fucking be out there in my underwear in the backyard. Yeah. I mean, it's not much different than what I do now when I'm like in the bathroom about to get in the shower and I'm like looking at myself naked in the mirror. I'm like throwing some fucking jabs and some straights and some hooks, or whenever you're alone in the bathroom. I don't know if I do this, but like I'll get on the scale to weigh myself sometimes, and like I put my hands up like I'm a fucking UFC champion, like who just weighed in, like hit my chest. I fucking made weight. I do that. But that shit it's been in my blood. So even when I was a kid, I was out there mimicking Power Rangers. Hi-ya, throwing kicks, throwing elbows with my nutsack elbow skin, and throwing karate chops and beating up. I think they used to be called like Goonies or something like that. The putties. The putties were the bad guys. They used to be like like little things jumping around, and I would fucking beat them up and shit like that. So it's sad. He was my favorite one. Of course, I think he was everybody's favorite. But he was actually into MMA. I think he had he was like 5-0 or something in like real life MMA. So sucks. It's sad to see people go. But this kind of led me down another rabbit hole that I was kind of interested in when I saw it, because obviously there's a curse associated with Power Rangers. And I didn't read much into this one on purpose. Not because I was being lazy again. Okay. It was actually on purpose. maybe. But it was because I thought it'd be interesting to read this one together and see how many people supposedly have like died that are connected to the Power Rangers show. Pua Magasiva passed at 38. On May 2019, Pua Magasiva, who played Shane Clark, the Red Wind Ranger in 2003 Power Ranger Ninja Storm, was found deceased in his home by police. It's unknown how he died. So that's one. Thuy Trang was involved in a fatal car accident at age 27. So I'm pretty sure she was a Yellow Ranger. Thuy Trang, the actress who portrayed Trini Kwan, a.k.a. the Yellow Ranger. First off, Trini Kwan is like the coolest fucking rap name ever. Like, if I had a rap name, it's going to be Trini Kwan. That shit's fucking dope. And she looks like she's going to fucking beat the shit out of you. I mean, this chick is legit. AKA the Yellow Ranger lived a remarkable life. As a child, Trang escaped to Vietnam by boat with a few of her family members and survived being held in a detention camp in Hong Kong. What the fuck? During the arduous voyage, Trang was extremely sickly, and other refugees suggested that her mother throw her overboard. Eventually, the family made it to America, at which point Trang became interested in acting. She landed a lead role in Power Rangers thanks to the martial arts skills she'd been practicing since childhood and starred in 80 episodes. Unfortunately, Trang's career was cut short at age 27 when she became the first victim of the supposed Power Rangers curse. Maybe she brought some shit back from Vietnam. She brought some fucking spiritual voodoo or something. I don't know what they call it over there. And now she started the Power Ranger curse. She was the first one that died. And the curse, the spirit of this evilness from Vietnam is going through. And I don't know why I associate Vietnam with evil spirits, but I don't know. Maybe I still buy the propaganda from the 70s. Who knows? Eric Frank succumbed to an unknown illness. When Power Rangers Zero was casting the role of Tommy Oliver's brother, they hired Eric Frank, the real-life brother of Tommy actor Jason David Frank. Sadly, Eric's portrayal of David Trueheart ended up being his final performance. Wow. So not the guy that just died's brother died. Man, that is crazy. So that's one. That's three. Ricardo Medina Jr. was convicted of slaying his roommate. What the fuck? So the guy, he playing Red Lion, a.k.a. Cole Evans on 2002 Power Rangers Wild Force, and returned to 2011 to play Decker of Power Rangers Samurai. Only a few years later, however, Medina was accused of slaying his roommate with a large sword. Oh my god. I feel like if you commit to killing somebody with a sword, you fucking hate that motherfucker with a passion. You gotta... I mean, you're chopping somebody in half, bro. That's crazy. According to prosecutors, Medina got into a fight with his roommate over the fact that Medina's girlfriend was at their house. The roommate allegedly broke down Medina's bedroom door, at which point Medina grabbed a sword and stabbed Sutter repeatedly. Man. So he fucking... Jeez. Peter Rudder developed a brain tumor and died at age 50. Wow. Power Rangers Mystic Force began in 2006 and starred New Zealand's Peter Rudder as a white Mystic Ranger Udana. In 2010, it was announced that Rudder had died suddenly of a brain tumor. See, that's the one that scares me. Think about those nights where you stay up. I'm going to take a drink here. Think about these nights where you stay up thinking about how you're going to die. Brain tumor. That's me. That's what I think. I don't know why, but it just like happens. There's nothing you can do. I mean, it just comes out of nowhere. It's scary. I say it's insane a lot. I've noticed, by the way, too. So, yeah, that's pretty cool. Richard Janelle passed away after suffering a heart attack. When they weren't saving the world, the original Power Rangers could be found hanging out at the Angel Grove Youth Center. Richard Janelle played Ernie, the center's owner, who was often found gently helping his customers with their problems or offering kindly advice. After 4 years of the show, Janelle left the series. Blah, 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 blah. He fell a heart attack at age 47. He was pretty young, fat, possible reason for having a heart attack, but whatever. I'm not going to pass any judgment. But I am. But I shouldn't because I used to be fat. Machika Sogo lost her battle with pancreatic cancer. I remember her, man. She was the one if you watch the Go Power Rangers, that one. I don't know them by name. If you watch that one, Mighty Morphin, I think, she was the lady that walked around with that wolf-like monster guy, and she had like the weird things on her head. Yeah, so she died in 22. I keep saying 2006 after finding out that she had pancreatic cancer for 2 years in 2005. So she had pancreatic cancer for 3 years. Man. A heart attack ended the life of the actor who voices Zordon. So if you remember on Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, the actor that was like in that tube thing, it was like almost like the Wizard of Oz character, that guy that talked and he didn't have a body, just a huge giant head. He kind of looked like giant John Wayne Gacy. He died, I guess, heart attack ended his life. Man, age 43. Okay, I'm not going to keep going because there's a bunch, but like that's a lot. I mean, there's one of them died at age 68. Maurice Mendoza died from unknown causes. Edward Lawrence Albert passed away at age 55 developing lung cancer. Voice actor Bob Pappenbrook died from a lung condition. Oh, my light just died. Man, that's interesting. Is there something to it? Is there something to this Power Ranger curse? Was it brought from Vietnam? Who knows? I'm not going to make any crazy judgments, but yeah. And let's do this last story here. This was a pretty interesting one. We had it for last week and I never got to it. I called this one the Ungodly Three-Way. Ex-priest pleads guilty to obscenity after filming threesome on church altar. What the hell? Okay, so this guy would have taken advantage of that lady from the 70s that kidnapped that Mormon, and try to seduce him and stuff. This guy would have taken full advantage of that, if not more. He probably would have been the one kidnapping somebody. This is crazy. A disgraced Louisiana Catholic priest has pleaded guilty to a felony obscenity charge for filming a threesome with 2 dominatrixes on church altar. Travis Clark got a 3-year suspended prison sentence for engaging in the unholy trinity, along with 3 years of supervised probation and a $1,000 fine. He was 39-year-old, serving a pastor at St. Peter's and Paul Catholic Church in Pearl River when one night in September 2020, a passerby noticed that the lights were on inside the church. When the witness peered through the window, he saw a half-naked Clark having a sex romp with 2 women in corsets and high-heeled boots atop the altar. Dude, that shit's crazy, dude. That guy, oh my God, and he's not a looker. I mean, imagine what you think a Louisiana priest would look like. It's this guy. Hey, but you know what? Shouts out to that guy. He didn't take it out on any kids. We know the Catholics, those Catholics, you know, a lot of them priests, they like to do stuff to little kids. So we got super lucky with this one. Here's pictures of the prostitutes. Melissa Chang, she kind of looks sort of like Marilyn Manson, so that's pretty cool. The desecrated altar was burned in the aftermath of Clark's demonic conduct, according to the Archbishop of New Orleans, and a new altar was consecrated in November 2020. Wow. So they had to burn down the altar. Maybe there was like a giant cum stain that they couldn't get rid of, and they're like, we can't explain this as anything else. Everybody already knows the priest fucked here. We gotta burn the altar. That's the only way because if you're having a threesome with 2 dominatrixes, think about it. These dominatrixes, they're gonna torture you. They're gonna edge you over and over and over again. If you hear crying in the background, it's my daughter. That's dad noises. Talking about dominatrixes, kid crying in the background, fun stuff. But you know, parents, we got to get away. We got to talk about this stuff. We got to get it off our chest. Anyways, so you're being tortured by, you know, being edged and all this stuff by 2 dominatrixes, okay? And you're telling me that he didn't blow the most giant load ever? He was probably edging for hours with 2 of them doing stuff to him and spanking him, and he's getting to that point and then they stop. That stuff's going to build up and it's just gonna explode. And that's what I think happened to the altar, and that's why they had to burn it. So, makes sense. Pretty stupid. Pretty stupid there. So, That was a pretty stupid thing, is what I'm saying. That I said was pretty stupid. Okay, let's move on because that's getting weird. This one was pretty funny. Here's a video. Waiting for it to load.
What is the most embarrassing thing you might have to buy for your wife when you're married?
A bra, and if my wife is small, I might have to get her a tiny bra. That would be embarrassing. People at the store would be like, bro, what you doing with a tiny bra? Bro, I got a tiny wife. Man, did she not hit puberty? Yeah, I guess not. Calvin James! That's one of the worst things I've ever said! But it's true! No, it's not!
What is the
Oh man, that's freaking hilarious. That kid, he's living in 30-30, bro. That kid's already doing it. He understands the game. He knows. No tiny tits in my life. I want a big busted, big breasted woman. That shit's embarrassing. Get it out of my sight. Like, he just sees chicks and he's just like, get out of my sight. Your tits are too small. That guy's, he's living the life, like, with that type of opinion and being able to say that opinion, that kid, if he continues on with it, he's living the life that every man dreams. Just to be honest, like, girl, put them little titties up. I don't want to see them. They're too small. That shit's embarrassing. You're embarrassing yourself. You're trying to turn me on with that tiny little rack. Get out of here. That's what this kid's saying. Gangster. That's a fucking gangster shit right there. Let's go to the next one.
You're coming home with me.
Okay, and it's gonna be.
Okay, so for people that are out there listening, it's this girl. First off, it's this little girl. She's probably like 5 maybe, and you could tell she's already a badass because she's got an awesome mullet. That she's rocking fucking Joe Dirt top cream of the crop mullet. It's even thinning. Her hair's thin. I mean, her hair, it looks very similar to the ostrich's hair. There's this ostrich that they're at like one of those driving zoo. I don't know what you would call it, like nature experiences where the animals come up to your car and you can feed them. Well, the ostrich or an emu, I can't tell what it is, puts its head into the car and it's pecking at the bucket. And this little girl with the sick mullet, she just wants to hug the damn thing. Okay. She grabs the ostrich by the neck and pulls it next to her head, and she's just like trying to hug it, and she like holds the ostrich, and the ostrich starts panicking. But man, their heads look alike. The little girl and the ostrich got the same hair. Maybe that's what's going on. The girl was jealous, said, "Hey, you stole my haircut. I'm gonna choke your ass out, ostrich." That's what happened. That's hilarious. She's not scared at all. She don't give no fucks. Somebody commented, "Oh, kids shouldn't be around animals because of this." That little girl's like barely 4 or 5. You think that she's gonna hurt the ostrich? Come on. Ostriches use their necks to freaking hit each other with them and stuff like that. You think that a little girl grabbing the ostrich like that's gonna actually hurt it? People are so fucking annoying. I fucking hate people that are online. They fucking piss me off, stupid motherfuckers. Here's one that I caught recently. It was pretty interesting. So apparently Terrell Owens, former wide receiver, he got kicked out, or he knocked out a man outside a CVS for harassing him. So this guy was harassing Terrell Owens in a CVS, and he got knocked the fuck out. Where's the video at? I watched the video already. Okay, I can't find the video now. I know I watched it the other day. Okay, I guess they had to take it down for some reason. Maybe the site couldn't use it, and they got or maybe law enforcement told the site to take it down or something. I don't know. Let's see. T.O. knocks out man. Yeah, let's see. Okay, here we go. I found it. You'll find everything on the internet when you need to. So there's no sound to it, but this is like one of the best street fights I've ever seen, in the sense of like these guys actually squared up with each other, and they weren't like just going crazy and like trying to take each other to the ground and like didn't know what they're doing. Terrell Owens kept distance and boom, just caught him. I don't even know what he caught him with. That was like a fucking, I don't know. Terrell Owens, that motherfucker's in shape. So you fuck with the wrong guy, man. That guy was probably the worst guy that you shouldn't mess with. because he fucking knocked you the fuck out. That's what sucks is like all these football players and fighters, I bet you they get picked on, like people in public thinking like, oh, they ain't going to do anything because, you know, they don't want to ruin their reputation or whatever, and they take it too far, and then they're fucking waking up on the ground later on. That's what happens when you play stupid games, you get stupid prizes like Terrell Owens punching you in the fucking retarded face. This one was pretty cool. This is a guy shooting a flare gun in an elevator. And watch his friend's reaction. That's the part that got me the most with this one. So they're standing in the elevator, probably Russian. Yep, definitely Russian. So he has a flare gun in his pants, and it accidentally goes off. And his friend that's in the elevator with him, remember, keep in mind, a very small elevator, dude doesn't react. I mean, there is no reaction to this man whatsoever. His friend is freaking the fuck out, like his pants, trying to make sure his pants don't catch on fire. And his friend's just looking down at him like, yeah, that sucks. That's happening. Like, he doesn't try to help him or whatever. Like, maybe he's like, I ain't gay, bro. I ain't trying to get around your piece like that, dog. Like, you know, your shit's all on fire down there. You know, I ain't getting down there. That's like, it's just like a whole no homo thing. He has to say no homo before he helps his friend's balls that are on fire from a flare gun. But don't worry, if his balls are like my balls, he probably didn't feel it, so that's good. But yeah, I mean, the guy's just no reaction to it whatsoever. Let's restart it. That's what's strange. And why does he have a flare gun in his pocket? Why does he even have that? And it just makes no sense. But I'm pretty sure, like I said, that's some type of Russian shit there in that region, that area. You know, those guys, they don't feel, their balls are definitely made out of top-notch elbow skin. This one was pretty funny. I think I might have to put censors on it. I'm not sure, but this teacher, he doesn't understand why he can't say the N-word. And I'm talking, he's like his first name looks like it would be Ned. Like that's the type of this guy. His name is like Ned. And Ned likes to say the N-word. And he's trying to like argue why he doesn't understand that he can't say it. But to me, it just sounds like he just really enjoys saying it. Take a look. Let's check it out.
A Jefferson County high school teacher has now received the longest suspension on record for calling a student the N-word.
Get away from the door, nigga. Why is this word used so frequently? So I just don't understand it. And I'm trying to understand it. I need help. Yes, I use nigga. I've used it. I admit it. I put the H on it to emphasize it's nigga. You know, nigga this, nigga please, nigga. You know, can you lend a nigga a pencil?
And a Jefferson County high school.
Oh my gosh. What I'm laughing at hard too is that this guy, he did a funny reaction to it. So you see this black dude on the screen and he's like, what the fuck? Like he's making faces and stuff while he's saying it. Man, that's hilarious. That dude does not give a fuck. Obviously, he does not care. And it's kind of older too. So I guess it wasn't like, right now it's definitely more of a problem if you say it. Like there's a story going around of a kid, some college athlete recruit, and he was mouthing the words to the song, and he said the lyrics was like, I'm back, N-word, and then he said it, like he mouthed it on video, and people are like, supposedly like schools don't want to sign him now or something like that. So it's very, you know, but with probably good reason, right? So there's a history there, but at the time, at the same sense too, it's like, how much does context matter? Like this kid's just rapping a song with, you know, the lyrics, and it wasn't like hurting anybody, and he wasn't trying to be mean to anybody. If anything, he was trying to be cool, and being cool is being like people that black music is cool. That's like the cool thing in culture. So he's just trying to copy it, and now he's like losing a chance at being successful because of it. I mean, don't film yourself mouthing it. Don't film yourself saying it. Don't say it. Whatever. Say it behind closed doors in the shower. Get it off your chest, right? That's what I do. In the shower, everything's closed. Water's real loud. Nobody can say it in my house. I just whisper it. I just say it like this, ASMR style. whenever I'm around people. That way, whenever I'm around people, I don't say it. I'm just kidding. Where am I? You don't know. I don't know. I feel like it's sad because I'm obviously joking, but I feel like I have to make it apparent that jokes are occurring so that way people don't get offended. But then at the same time, it's like, isn't that the issue with what's going on? Is that everybody's getting offended for everything? It's like, come on. Now, this one's tough. I'm not trying to say this guy's right. Obviously, this guy needs to slow down. He needs to slow down with the N-words. He obviously enjoys saying it. But, like, in regards to this kid, he's singing a song and he says it or whatever. It's like, give him a break, right? Like, it's crazy. But this guy, he needs to figure out why he shouldn't just let it flail, and he should take my approach and go in this, maybe like go find like a nice quiet outdoor area where nobody's around and just scream it if you need to say it that bad. That's what this guy needs to do. So, but yeah, the reaction of the guy on the video is freaking hilarious. So, that's a show. That's a show, folks. It's been a good time. I've had a lot of fun. I think I touched on everything that I wanted to get on. I'll leave you with this little question here. And I think this question is a fun one to leave you with because you have to think about it and it's going to sit with you for the rest of your day, at least, I think. Because it sat with me. I was sitting here thinking about it and I thought, how is it that everybody dies, but nobody for sure what happens when you do? How does anybody know? You die, you don't come back, you can't say anything. So, what happens when you die? All right, folks, have a good week. I will talk to you later. Peace.